Headed out to pick up the group at the Alden Village Center. We're going out to Bethel today. Lots of climbing. Should be a lot of fun. Get some clips for you all. On this ride, I left Northampton, rode into the woodlands, picked up the group at the Alden Village Center. We headed out on Honea-Egypt Road, went through Grand Lake Estates. It was very foggy, as you will see in the film. We filmed until we got into Keenan, because we went Springbranch Road past Gary there. And then we continued into Dobbins. Somebody had a flat and Paul turned off the camera at that point. We went out to Bethel North into the forest, then came back Hidden Forest Road, back Mount Pleasant to 1097, stopped at Taco on the way back, and then rode Mill Route, Leah Drive to Fishcreek. Very pleasant day. Once the fog burned off, it was nice and mild, and we put together some interesting clips for you that I think you will enjoy. We're on the open road, Research Forest Drive in the Woodlands, Texas. We headed out west. The dew point is near the low temperature for the day, so we have a lot of fog developing as we leave town. That's Irwin on the left, that's Roy on the right. The guy in front of Roy, that's Greg Schott, who does a lot of ultra marathon rides, long, 200 plus miles in one day, that kind of stuff. He knows the area really well. He knows all the roads. I've learned a lot of routes from him, just riding with him. But look at what he's wearing. He's wearing the key lime. You see the bottom of the jersey is key lime. The top of the jersey matches the short. Then he took the key lime and matched it to his socks. So look how visible that is. Look at Clement Champoussin on the left, John Mulbrecht. He's got the white in the jersey matching the socks. This is what I'm talking about. You don't need to spend a lot of money on your kit. In fact, you can buy the most expensive kit. If you don't put it together with the nice accessories, they don't pop. They kind of look like you just kind of threw it together with no plan, You see Irwin on this side. Irwin's got black shorts, black socks, a little bit of white ring on there. So as his legs are moving, you can see that white circle on the sock. And then the shorts are matching that jersey. He's got like the Visma Lisa Bike jersey, but most of that jersey has like a charcoal, kind of a dark gray in it, so it pulls those little, almost like a camouflage kind of look, but it pulls into the shorts. That's really why they did it that way. And so he could probably go, like, if he wanted to, wear that jersey with like navy shorts, because it's got a lot of kind of a blue in there. And then some triathletes will wear white shorts. I tried wearing white shorts many years ago, and it just didn't work for me. I ended up putting it on eBay and selling it. It was made by Asos. First of all, it got dirty really easy, and it was almost like see-through, because when you ride, you perspire, and as it got wet, it just wasn't very private. We had to continue. We were already in the intersection. Abby was going to stop, and I told her, no, let's keep going. Because stopping at the last minute would have meant that these guys would have had to brake really hard, and you can cause a crash. It's okay if you're already through the intersection and then the yellow changes to red. That's okay, because we're kind of like a train. Same thing in your car. If you enter the intersection and it's yellow, you proceed with caution. That's what yellow means. It doesn't mean that, I see yellow, let me get my car through it, let me gun and try to beat it. And that's what I think there was somebody was making a joke a long time ago, asking a kid, what do the lights mean? And the kid said, well, red means stop, green means go, and yellow means go really fast. Because I guess that's what his dad or whoever he rode with all the time would do. When there's a yellow, he'd go really fast. And so we always laugh about that. But that's really not the way you're supposed to do it. That's Dan Jaworski in front of John Clement Champoussin in front. I hope we get a closer view. Dan and Abby have ordered the team kit. I've already put their orders in, and Dan changed his size from medium to small because he ordered a sample of the Pedal Mafia jersey that he's wearing on this ride, and he ended up liking it. I saw it, and it looks like it fit him well. Dan's a tall guy, but Dan is lean, kind of like but not quite as lean as the guy. What's his name? Vinjigo. But he's that kind of stature. He's lean, very wiry, you know. So it works for him. And so he wears medium in Asos, and he went down one size. Abby's staying with his same size. He normally wears small, so he's staying with the same size. I think that will work for him perfectly. It depends on your frame. You know, Abby's more of a muscular, solid kind of guy. Dan is more of a, well, not a giraffe, but you know, a lean, like an antelope with slender muscles. So yeah, so your frame makes a difference in how you size your kit from any vendor. So you really have to look at the dimensions and see where you fall. And when there's an error, when there's a question, you go down, meaning that if you're at the top, let's say they say, you know, like large is like 40 or whatever, like the Rafa. Well, if you're 44, you don't want to buy that 40, it would be too tight on you. But if you're 38, you don't want to get the other one because then you will be kind of in the middle and you have excess fabric. That's the challenge for the people that are in the middle. So when there's a doubt, you want to take the size closest to you so that it fits you like second skin. You don't want loose fabric because any fabric flapping creates drag. And you know, and drag can chafe you. You don't need stuff flapping when you're riding, especially for very long rides. So fit is important. Don't focus on how much you're spending for the stuff necessarily. Focus on how it fits you and how you put it together. Don't show up looking like, oh, well, you know, yeah, I didn't give it no mind. You got to think about your stuff. I like to add a little bit of color either on the legs or the helmet or something like that, especially the legs, like the socks. Or put some contrast. That's Frank. Frank Johnny. How are you, my brother? Frank hadn't been on the ride a bit, but he's been riding. But what I was saying is that whenever possible, if you can contrast your socks, because your legs are moving, that helps your visibility. Like the line on Irwin's socks, that circle, when he's moving into his black, you see the circle. You see the white circle. And that's why they designed the sock like that. And sometimes you can use a logo or something. That's Mike Barrera. Hi, Mike. Somebody today, as I'm doing the narration, somebody came to the board for this group, the chat group, a lady, and she asked, she said, I'm new to the area, what's the pacing for this group? And it took me a bit to decide how to respond, but what I responded was, I said that between 18 and 25 miles an hour in rolling terrain, and you know, it mimics road racing competition, so she'd get a better feel for it. And I told her, I said, well, it depends on the time of year and who's there, whether you'd find somebody who'd want to go slower if you chose to, you know. And she thanked me. I haven't met her. Her name didn't seem too familiar, but I like to give people information. I want more people coming, but until we get enough people, there's no point in saying, oh, we need to split. No. If we have 3 or 4 people that want to go slightly slower than the top group, that's fine, and that's what I'm hoping will happen. But the issue is a lot of people just don't show up, so everybody that shows up rides with the top group until they get tired of it. Then we have splits on the road, which is fine too. So my mention to her was depending on who's there in the time of year, because if somebody else is taking it easy in the winter and you come, they'll ride with you, and you can ride that pace if you want to take it easy. So that's Dan Jaworski at the front there with the white jersey to my right that you can see through this shot. He's wearing the small We didn't push the pedestrian button over there because we have this guy on the left that's turning. And usually when that light changes for the left, the green, there you go, the green flicked it on, so we roll. And basically we say green up, or somebody, you heard somebody say green light, and we start to roll.
Yes, sir.
Love that purple kit, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
I noticed a rider on the right there. I didn't see him during the ride. We must have picked him up on the road. It looks almost like one of our subscribers that lives in the area. I think his name is Neil. That jersey looks familiar. That's a Rafa Classic. He's not in the frame right now. He's behind on the side of Paul. As we went through the light, I saw that it's almost like a coral color jersey. They call it coral, but it's a take on between orange and pink. It's a really pretty color. I have some of their socks in that color. Hopefully we'll see him again, but I didn't see him on the ride. I think he let us go early, so I stayed near the front. So he must have joined us on the road. Some of the riders ride from their home, and they just kind of meet us as we're rolling out. There's a lot of deer in this area. Usually, I think people have deer food, or they have vegetation that the deer likes. Because one time we came through, there was a bunch of deer in just one yard. Kind of like how people have bird feeders and stuff. You know, people put food out for the deer and they hang out there. I give the deer a wide berth because they're almost like cats. They're very skittish, and they panic and they start jumping across the road. So you see how Irwin's jersey fits him? The guy on the left, even Roy. There's nothing moving. Look at the sides. Just tight. That's what you want. It needs to fit you. It doesn't need to be uncomfortably tight, but nothing loose that the wind can get a hold of. And that's where I think you should spend most of your money. There's no point in getting fancy aerodynamic wheels and your kit doesn't fit you well. You defeat the purpose because your body is the largest object creating drag on the bicycle. So your position, your kit. See Roy on the right, the jersey fits it. So you look the business, you look Euro Pro, let's say, so to speak. And then in the winter, people have jerseys that are a little looser because they put a lot of stuff under it. But for me, I don't change much because the jerseys we have, they're nice and stretchy. So I slip on one base layer, or I'll put something over it or whatever, and it's not uncomfortable. And you know, with the elastane or the lycra or whatever, the short, they're very stretchy, so they conform to your body. It's like extra skin. Yeah. So if you were to fall and had a mishap, that saves your skin to a certain extent.
Not as much as you, though. He's not fully outfitted. Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll get Paul on camera. My brother came in. See Laura in purple? They were teasing me and said, "Oh, you didn't get the memo." Because purple, and Paul's wearing purple, Laura's wearing purple today. And I've got purple kit too. But we don't always plan, you know, to wear the same kit. Sometimes it's by accident, but we used to back, you know, a while back. Paul and I were planning, okay, let's do this today. Or let's do this the first of the month or whatever. And that's probably what we'll do with the team kit for the most part. Like the first weekend of the month, we'll bring out the team kit together. I think it's kind of cool. But Paul's wearing purple. Paul's dressed like these Euro guys like Remco Evenepoel, Van der Poel, and all those guys. His glasses frame matches his kit. So the jersey, the shorts, purple, the glasses kit. You know, I mean, it just looks good. And that's the thing. You're gonna wear a uniform, it needs to look good. There's no point like the military. You're not gonna find the guys in the military, especially when they go to functions. They look the business, and I don't know if it's the Navy or I think all of them have it. Like they'll go to function, they'll be wearing white. I was watching Heartbreak Ridge, and they went to a dance. And you know, Clint's in that movie, one of my favorite actors of all time. But they were wearing white. I mean, the white looked white. It's no, they don't mess around. That's what Barreras says, squared away. If you're going to wear something, it needs to look right. If you're going to leave your house, you got to check yourself in the mirror. So when you step out, I got it together. So we turn and we start to ride. We're out of town now. This is when the ride begins. The warm-up is over. It's just an understanding. We're on the open road. There's a subscriber on here. He posted, he said when he's riding, he hears in his mind's eye, he hears the open road. I love that. It is the open road. And the reason I say that is, it is not your neighborhood, it's the open road. Even in my neighborhood, I treat it like the open road because my neighbors are nuts. Out here, I have less issues than within 5 kilometers of my home. So when I do my lunch ride, my spider sense is at full capacity because my neighbors don't pay attention. Out here does not require as much. So I really love coming out of town, but during the week I can't, so I have to ride on the roads close to home, And you guys saw the other video where I went Springbranch, that little back road. Those are okay. That's why I go there. So even though I'm close to home, it's quiet. Because on the main boulevards where I live, these guys are like texting or doing whatever, looking at a clipboard. Who knows? You see them driving and looking at the passenger seat. They're looking at something. So I don't trust them. I don't trust them as far as I can spit. I'm talking about my neighbors close to home. So when you're near your home, a highly populated area, be alert. That's not the time to act cute. I watch everything. I ride sometimes at lunch, so I get calls from, business calls or whatever, but I have my headset, but it's the standard white headset with the wire. So it just sits in my ear canal. It does not block out the world. You know what I mean? So I can hear everything, whatever. It's just there for me to catch a call so I don't have to reach for my phone. It has that little knob that hangs by your neck on the wire. You can control the volume and pick up a call. That's what I use it for. But I don't have heavy conversations while I'm riding. I just pick up the call, let them know this is when you need to come to meet me. Just take an appointment, basically. Push it off till the end of my ride or something. That's all that's for. But so if you're out riding, and I like to listen to music. I listen to Tracy Chapman, James Taylor. Those are the kind of songs I like. So I just have it running, but I don't play it to where I can't hear. It's really background, and it's good for tempo. You can see the fog kind of building as we head further north. We're going to start a descent soon. The only thing about the fog is that it's basically moisture, and it gets on your shoes, and then the road grit get on your shoes. And I'm wearing white shoes, so I can see like the grit getting on there. And I don't worry too much about it, but you gotta be cognizant of the fact that you're getting moisture. And even when we film, periodically we'll use our finger and just wipe the lens that the fog builds on. The moisture. It affects the visibility somewhat. That's why when you're driving your car and it's foggy, they tell you not to use high beams because it's blinding for you because of all the moisture and the particles that your light will be reflected off of. Not sure which position I'm in, but I'm probably in second or third position. close to the front. I think it might be Laura that's pulling. Not sure. I kept seeing Laura at the front throughout the ride. Every time we did Laura pulling, I thought I saw one where I don't know if we're on camera. I think we are. You will probably hear it. I thought I said, you're always pulling. I was like, these guys ought to be ashamed of themselves. Laura doing all this pulling. I'm like, I said, why are you always up here? You know, every time you turn your head, Laura pulling. Where's the rest of these guys? Sitting at the back. Get up here. You know. Abby took some strong pulls on this ride too. Abby was up there mixing it up, you know, did his share of the work. But I kept seeing Laura up there. I said, you're pulling too much. I think that's how I said it. Paul was laughing. That's when we finished Springbranch. All of a sudden she's up there again. And it's not just this ride, just all the rides. Laura's always at the front pulling. You know, like, everybody needs to do their fair share. It's not just you. You shouldn't be the only one towing these guys around. Yeah, I think she pulls too much. I don't know if they've gotten in her head or whatever, but yeah, these guys need to pull their fair share. Look at the fall. All of a sudden, it's like we rode into some kind of soup. And I think part of it is because it's getting on the lens too, but still, it's thick out here. It burned off later in the morning. As you can see, there weren't that many cars on this road. It's early. See, that's a nice line we got going. That's Frank behind Paul there. It's not easy at the back. I don't know why these guys like to sit back there. I don't like to sit way back. You work it, because once the group starts going, you got that yo-yo effect. You work it, so might as well just hold your position and go through the line. The light looks cool on this guy's bike, on Irvin's bike, with the moisture. That's why when you do use high beams and fog, it blinds you. That's what you're seeing the effect on the camera. The water vapor droplets and so forth, reflecting light. The road goes up here. You can visibly see it. And they scrape this curve. I don't know why they do this. I mean, people just need to slow down. I'm not scraping this stuff for traction. Somebody came up with that idea. Ruined a nicely paved road. It looks like night out here. I basically have my glasses on the back of my head. I had to remove them because when I was riding to the right, there was no fog from my home to the start. But once we started to ride, I took it off and put it on the back of my head. And a lot of riders took off their glasses too. You will see in about a kilometer, Mike Barrera's glasses will fall. I think he had it on the back of his jersey or something. And it falls. So I had to ride up and let the group know that Mike had lost his glasses so we could kind of wait for him. It took a while to get the pace to where I could let him, ride to the front and let people know, okay, we need to. Basically, what I told him was, let's stop at the gate. But at that point, then he and Jerry had made it back. Because they were not aware of it, even though people called out. Look at this neighborhood. It's like nighttime. There's a lot of the moisture on the camera's lens also.
Good morning, Jerry.
Hey, how you doing? That's not bad.
Can't really see Dan Jaworski's glasses very well. Somebody pulled up to the side of the road. I don't know who that is. I think it's Abby. I'm not sure what he's doing. It's somewhere around here that Mike Barrera's glasses will fall. At this point, I'm still up there. I think his glasses falls after I'm done pulling and I come to the back or something. Because I'm back there and I see it hit the pavement. Jerry ended up retrieving it and then they rode back together. We periodically wipe the lens. I think Paul is distracted probably or just focused. He's not thinking about the camera right now. At some point he will clean it. Yeah, I'm done pulling. I was pulling. I look, you see the huge gap? I don't fill the gap. I'm gonna drift all the way to the back. They're doing about 21 miles, 21, 22 miles an hour steadily. There's not a whole lot of wind, and that's why we have this fog. The wind usually blows it out. So I'm back there when Mike Barrera's glasses falls, and the group is going. They don't really hear our calls. So I ride up to them, and once we get on the Hills Parkway, I guess I ride up to the front and let them know to kind of plan to wait at the gate. Mike has those lenses. They're like I think it's a yellow kind of tint. They're really good in low light conditions. That's the lenses he has in the glasses he's wearing. It's perfect for this kind of day. I couldn't use mine. I just put them on the back of my head. They were pretty much useless until things burned off. The wind has blown some of the moisture off the lens. You can see the spots, looks like they're clearing. That's the wind blowing the moisture. At this point, I think he's already dropped his glasses because this is like we're descending and we're going to start climbing soon. It's a lot clearer than the camera is depicting. The lens is obscured with moisture. The road goes up here. This is a good pace. This is probably between 1 to 3%. Yeah, it says 3.4%. I didn't realize it was that steep. But we're moving at about 18, 19 miles an hour. In about a kilometer or so, I'm going to ride to the front and let them know we need to back off a bit or plan. I think I told them let's plan to stop at the back gate to make sure Mike has gotten back. I didn't realize Jerry was back there with him. This road is called, when we turn, it's going to take us to Linda's place. It starts to go up as soon as we turn. Roy's trying to hook his glasses, the guy on the right, on the back of his jersey. I like to put it on the back of my head, over my ears from behind. That's the pirate who was pulling. She's pulling out. So Velar ends up at the front a lot because she would fill these gaps. You know, like you saw when I pulled off, there was a huge gap. I like for riders to go through, and sometimes you just have to slow down so they can be forced to come through. But when she pulls off, when she's riding, she just fills the gap. She doesn't worry about all that. It was just fine. But I was like, I just feel that it's wrong for her to do all this pulling. And we got 15 guys sitting back there. You know, they need to come through, take their cuts. This is Linda's place. 4%. It's a nice little drag. Not too bad. But when you're not in good condition, you feel it. Somewhere around here, a little bit, I'm going to ride to the front. And let them know that, Mike had to retrieve his glasses, so we might want to plan to wait at the back gate. So when there's a mishap in your group or something happens, you don't necessarily have to stop the whole group. You guys can just kind of drop the power and give that person a chance to get back at a minimum. But if they don't do that, then you just have a good stopping point when it's safe to do so for you all to regroup. This is where I ride to the front to let them know. I let both of them. There's two guys in the front. I'm letting Dan know because just in case he takes over. Then I let Kenny know, but then Kenny slows down. I didn't tell him to slow down. I just said, let's stop at the back gate. But he slows down too much, so I just go to the front and start pulling. I noticed it's like he turned off the power. So you see me go to the front, I'm just gonna go and start pulling. I want us to keep riding, but not go through the back gate unless we make sure we're all together. Because what I told them was let's regroup at the back gate. Because Mike dropped his glasses. They were not aware of it.
Yeah, be careful. Now this is a nice space. Yeah.
It's a good tempo pace for me. I'm just holding it steady because Kenny backed off too much. I just wanted to keep us moving. But this allowed our regroupment to occur. I was not aware he was back. When we got to the gate, I started to let everybody know that he had dropped it. Then Jerry said, oh no, we're here. So Jerry had picked up the glasses and they rode back together. But that's how you let people get back when things happen. If it's not a flat or anything, say they drop a bottle or whatever, just turn off the power a bit. You don't have to be pressing all the time. So that's probably why Kenny slowed down. You figure, okay, instead of us stopping, we'll just back off and they'll ride. So they were able to ride back and get in the bunch. And then we made sure we're all together and then we continued. It's slower than we normally ride, but it gives the regroupment an opportunity to occur. Then we don't have to be standing. You see how my white shoes, even with the fog, you can see it moving. Just my feet are moving. So your contrast, it doesn't have to always be white. So you have light jerseys, you wear dark shoes, it will show, a contrast will show. So we're descending towards the gate. And I'm not aware that they're back yet, so the plan is to wait here and let us all get back together. So I'll go to the left there. There's a car that's going to come, so we're all going to get off the road. So I'm going to say we're waiting for Mike, but they're already back. Yeah.
He dropped the Mike, he dropped his shades.
No, we got it. So how many,
Car back.
That's Jerry said we got it, so they're back. So now we can just go.
He's right there.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah. San Diego, they don't wait for folks.
Abby said they don't wait for folks in San Diego.
They don't wait for San Diego. No way. Yeah, I rode with that. I rode with it. Yeah. Before I didn't know it was his group, but I rode with him.
Abby said in San Diego the groups don't wait for folks. It's probably more of an open ride than, you know. Yeah, but in our group you have to earn your gap. You don't get a gap because somebody has a mechanical or some mishap. That's not a true gap. As Mike Barreras puts it, you have to claw it out. You don't get a gap because you made the red light and the other people didn't. That's not a true gap.
That's right.
So I'm up front. I think I'm sitting on Roy's wheel right now. And I don't know if it was here, but when Roy would stand, his carbon bike was just like, whew, it was like an orchestra. It was popping and clicking and just, I couldn't begin to even decipher what was causing the noise. It was just, everything was making noise. I was like, that thing, it would drive me nuts. I cannot stand being on a noisy bike. Plus, you don't know the parts that's protesting when it's gonna fail, because it's protesting, something's happening. And you want to deal with that. So I was like, man. That's Abby on the left, that's Jerry on the right. Jerry said he's been traveling a lot, so he's doing more swimming right now. And that's what you kind of have to do. When I used to travel, I would get in the gym and do some weight work. You know, there's a lot of reps. I don't do the heavy stuff. But you get just as tuned. And, you know, it's good to balance your cycling with some gym work if you can. Even if you don't have a gym, you can do push-ups, sit-ups, and stuff like that. Planks. There's a lot you can do using gravity. I'm drifting to the back, I believe. I don't know if I stay up there or not. I'm on the right next to Jerry now. The pace is kind of subdued here. I was a little surprised. I figured, I don't know what's going on. Anyway. It heats up later on. So you see how Abby's legs are very visible? He's got white shoes, white socks. Then, of course, his arms, he's got the white sleeves, arm sleeves on. They're probably summer sleeves more than anything. But as he moves, you see that. And that's kind of what you want. You want some contrast. So even if you're wearing dark socks, if they have a logo that's bright, that will pop. So any contrast on a moving part makes a difference. Of course, we have lights, but that just accentuates your visibility. I hope Paul cleans his mirror soon. I didn't realize the fog was this thick, but I think it's accumulated on the lens. By the time we got out here, it wasn't that bad. It's a little hill right here. As soon as we approach it, it got harder. Somebody started to push on the hill. Riders like to push on the hill. I like to do white, like you see Abby's doing. I got white on. He's got white. It almost looks like you're wearing a boot, like a white boot from a distance. I like that look. It's the same thing when you do black or similar color to match your shoes. Looks like you're wearing a boot or like you got shoe covers on in the distance. And with our new team kit. The white picks out the white. So it works. I don't have red shoes. I think Paul has red and white shoes. So we're approaching Keenan-Cutoff. We're going to go left, which is west. Ah, there we go. That film off the lens. But look, it's still gray, but I mean, look in the distance. I think this is what Jerry was asking me if I've been riding or something. I think I told him yes. I've been riding frequently. I get 3 rides in during the week and then the weekend. So I'm riding 5 days minimum. This right here, somebody's forcing the pace. You see the back of my helmet, the color orange. Those are my glasses on the back of my helmet. I like to carry them like that. You get no debris on them or anything because they're on the back of your head, and then the arms are over your ears, so they're secure. Yeah, somebody raised the pace. You can see. I just increased my cadence.
You have that big caravan that comes by like an hour before. Yeah, they show that boys and stuff.
That's the only way I can get my family to go along with me.
Yeah, that's got to be fun for the kids.
Yeah. But lately, like I said, my daughter's 22, my son's 13. It's a little bit of a pressure. I think it takes a little bit of
So when the low temperature gets near the dew point, that's when you have fall. I think it's like in the upper 60s when we started. Actually, it felt nice.
And I had an opportunity to ride it. It was a flat route, so it wasn't so. I got to go all out and see how I stack up against the road.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Have you driven up out the west?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
It's in my.
Well, let me know when you do it. I just want to
Go away.
yeah. Oh, the journey.
Yeah.
This direction, this road is lumpy. It's nice and challenging. I think this is why I told the pirate that her bike, when she's on her bike, it looks like they molded it when they made the bike like she was in the factory because she fits her bike really well. And we laughed about it. I think this is where I told her that. I like to compliment people who pay attention to details because details matter. You benefit from it. I mean, if you look at my feet, it looks like I'm slapping the pedals. You have to perfect your fit to where you can just spend hours on the bike and not feel like, you're out of sorts. Somebody's twisting the screw up there because all of a sudden it's getting harder. You can see back here, like Logan's spinning like a hamster. He needs to shift up. That stuff wastes a lot of energy. When you over a certain RPM that's not efficient for you, you are actually inefficient, and you can go anaerobic if you keep that up too long. It's not very efficient to pedal at an excessively high cadence. That's like running your car at 8,000 RPMs when the red is 75. Let's say that, something like that. See the distance? He's spinning, but he's not making up any ground. You shift up, you're wasting all that energy. See, look at Jerry's cadence. Jerry's just kind of rolling that gear. That stuff puts you they'll put you in oxygen debt earlier than you should. You have to balance it properly. Somebody forcing the pit. We're going up like 2.5%, 18 or 19 miles an hour. You see my cadence, 85. So 75 to 85 when I'm pushing on the hill, that's about what I like to be. especially if we're going to do it for a long time. I'm not going to waste energy trying to spin at 110. That's like accelerating all day long. And you can increase your cruising cadence, but it needs to be something you're comfortable with. You don't want to feel like you hyperventilating. See up there, I'm spinning, but I'm in the 90s. Let's say it says 80, yeah, about 90. Because this is a long little grade here, so I'm riding at a cadence that is comfortable. It does not overload my legs. It takes a lot of energy when you're bouncing or if you're spinning at an excessively high cadence for you. You're expending way more energy than the benefits you get from it. You're not as efficient. So just because they say spinners are winners, you have to spin within your realm, meaning how you've trained your body to acclimate to a certain range of cadences. Because unless you're efficient in that range, then it's a waste of energy. We're doing about 26, 27 miles an hour. This is a slight downhill here, -2. Using this downhill to move up in position. Yeah, we're riding here. See the moisture on the lens? The wind's trying to blow it out of the way. The fog is thickening down here. I know I'm biased, but I'm looking at my jersey in these conditions. It is very visible. It just pops. It'd be nice to see it on more people. We got a couple other guys that have copies coming, so that's gonna be cool. Getting close to 149, probably about a kilometer, probably less. The FM 149 in the distance here. We're going to turn right. I think we stopped because there are a bunch of cars coming. And that was really cool that Kenny's leading the group. Kenny stopped. And that way it's safe for everybody. There's some piece of bolt on the road there. You know, for our bike, for our tires, a solid steel is almost like a piece of a lug nut, the head. And you roll over something like that, man, it can disturb your ride. So whenever I see stuff like that, I toss it. That's what I did. I put new tires on the wheels I'm riding, the Continental Ultra Sport. Kind of like, I guess, maybe like Endura Ace would be like, I mean, Shimano would be like 105. It's not their most expensive. It's not their least expensive. It's kind of like, you know, the Toyota Corolla of the bunch. Let's put it that way. But it's a good all-around tire. I like the way it feels on the road, and I like that I can just ride it every day. I can stick it on a trainer if I want to, and it's a strong enough compound that it doesn't get beat up on the trainer. But you know, whenever you put new tires on, everything feels good. So it felt good to have new tires on. I don't let my tires go too low before I change them. As soon as they get to those wear markers, once the tread has worn away, it gets really smooth, I can change it. Because then you increase your chances of flats when you run them like that. You have very little protection. This road, I mean, we don't stay on this road very long, but sometimes in the past we'd ride it, going north like we're going all south. It's very lumpy. You can get a good workout on this road. The shoulder is like this until you get into Montgomery, but you can get a good workout. It's not a bad road too much. Just the cars are moving at a good speed. It's not a neighborhood road, so to speak. It's the moisture making those brakes make noises. Even some of the rim brakes are making noises. The moisture means that your braking is diminished. I mean, you know, the sound. Anytime your brakes are howling or whatever, they're not grabbing like they should. And, you know, moisture causes that. That's the reason we use, like, alcohol when we clean it, because it evaporates real quickly. But, yeah, not much you can do about that. The same thing with car brakes when they get wet. I think they're complicating the braking too much on bikes. You know, you start dealing with having to bleed the brakes on your bike and all that. It's going to be like a car. Somebody lifted the pace, you can see, and then it backs off. That's the thing. Is like, I think it's more efficient to whatever pace you're going to lift it to a pace and keep it there. But this speeding up, slowing down, I feel like you're in a road race, just wasting energy. But that's how I like to ride. So I just kind of, you know, go with the flow. But that's not the most efficient way to ride. But road racing is not efficient. It's all about testing your speed endurance and your durability. It's a ride of attrition, road racing. They want to wear people down. So the teams will sacrifice. Mike said something I'm responding to. The team will sacrifice certain members of their team, you know, at the highest levels. Because in Cat 5 and Cat 4, even Cat 3, there were no major teamwork going on, so everybody would chase everything until some people got tired. Until you get to like Pro 1, 2. I've said before, my first Pro 1, 2, 3 race, I was riding cross-eyed. It was so fast. It's a different rhythm. It took a while to get used to that. I heard Mike speaking Spanish in the group. Mike's got a bit of Spanish under his repertoire. He's speaking Spanish. I don't know if that's what he's doing here right now, but I heard it during the ride. I can understand Spanish. I've got a few words, but I can't do it fluently. haven't practiced it enough. I'm very close to the wheel I'm following. See a soft pedal or something Mike Barreras is doing. Pedal, then you soft pedal. So you don't have to brake. You just kind of, you come around one stroke and you drop the power at the top. You don't push as hard because, you're not really on the rivet here. You can see my heart rate in zone 1. This part of it felt easy. I love coming out here versus going in town where we have a lot of lights. You're stopping, a lot of cars. I like it out here. I like just being in the country. You can see me pulling up. I'll come back in the frame. I think that's what I told Paul. Paul is dressed like a Euro Pro on this ride. I mean, he always dresses, but he's got like a kit that matches. His glasses match the kit, the frame, and it just looked the business. I think that's what he just said. Thank you. I was telling him, I said, man, yeah, it's a Euro Pro. I told him, I said, you dress like Remco Evenepoel and Matthew Van der Poel and those boys. Those boys don't mess around, man. They take it seriously, and that's the way you should. I don't care whether you're working at Home Depot or whatever it is. When you're ready to go to work, you need to look the business. If you're a plumber, you need to have your tools sticking in your pocket, or you have your apron, or whatever it is you wear, your belt around your waist. It needs to be the business, and you go, you look like you're ready for work. You look the part. People will take you seriously. They know you're serious, because if you show that you're serious about what you're doing, people will take you seriously. I'm on the small chainer right now. I've already dropped because I wanted to keep the chain. See my cadence go up? I want to keep the chain from being cross-chain. And I'm just relaxed. I'm going to just climb very relaxed. Roy on the left in front of the Pirate here is going to put in a big gear, but he's not going to go anywhere because he's just going to strain his legs. That he's climbing like he knows used to do, but that's not the most efficient. I moved to the left because the person in front of me slowed down. Somebody slowed down in front of Dan, so he slowed down. That's the jersey I was telling you guys about. That jersey fit Dan really well. I'm glad he changed the size. That's a Pedal Mafia sample that he got to test the sizing, and it fits it. So he went down one size from his Asos. Dan likes Asos as well. Now, in a little bit, you hear Paulie Longa tell me, watch out, watch out. What happens is this road, they graded the middle. So whenever I climb, I like to ride the edge of the road because it's smooth, and I don't look, and I don't see him. But I started to move in on his wheel, and he said, watch out. I think it's somewhere here. Or has he already? I think he's already said it. Yeah, he's already said it. So now this is Jerry here in the white jersey. In front of Jerry, Roy is there. That was the guy who made the move on the left in a bigger gear. I'm wired differently. If I make a move, if I'm going to expend the energy, it's got to mean something. I'm not just going to expend the energy, then just sit up and I'm back in a bunch. Then you might as well just stay in a bunch. So if I'm going to expend the energy and I want to open a gap, and then I want to work that gap. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit in. You know, whether my form is not there or I'm not in the mood to do it or whatever. That's the way I was coached. It's like, don't expend energy for no reason. Even now in the Pro Peloton, they will put like the Domestique on the front for a reason. let's say they got a good sprinter in their bunch and there's a flat course, and then say there's a breakaway and the breakaway might make it to the end. If their sprinter says, you know, I'm feeling good today, the team will may sacrifice themselves to bring the break back to give the sprinter a chance to sprint. So they're doing that for a reason. So if you're going to make a move, open a gap, then sit up, why did you expend all that energy? Make the move, open the gap, and work it. Even if you get dropped after that, at least you did something. Then you got a chance to test yourself. But you know, quite a few of the guys don't understand that. I don't like to make unnecessary moves. But everybody's having that fun, so you know, I'm just pointing that out. It's like you might as well go to the front and pull the groove. There's no point attacking your groove and go nowhere. Then you sit up, then you come back in a bunch. If you're feeling that good, go to the front and work for the group and take a long pull. They will appreciate it. But if you just all you do is attack, then when you have a mechanical or whatever, they will leave you because they're like, you don't help us anyway. We're waiting for him for. But if you're a workhorse like a Sean Yates, super domestique type, yeah, they'll wait for you. They'll help you fix your flat because you're the guy doing the work. You know, that would be get my drift. Right here, we're riding. It's nice. It's just steady. I don't know who's pulling. I see Frank behind someone. The Pirate is in third position. And I think Roy is hanging on the left. I don't think I saw Roy pull the whole ride. I think he was just hanging on the side and attacking the group. That's what I was talking about. He's sitting out there in the wind on the left. He's trying to get back in there. It's like you just go, you sit to the side and you come in. When I'm riding in that position, I don't let you take my wheel. You sit out there, you'll catch that wheel. That's the same guy who was moving in on Ferrera one time. Mike gave him a love tap, like, get off of me. Yeah, cycling. Springbranch Road, up and down. Get a good workout on this road. I like how quiet it is. Always like this, 7 days a week. Get a car now and then. You're going up again. So all these little 3, 4, 5%ers, you do it for 5 or 6 hours, you'll feel it. So you see Roy sitting on the left? He's not pulling the group, just sitting on the left. What's the point of that? You're wasting your energy. Get in front and pull the group. Or get in the line.
Oh, thanks, man.
I really like it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I couldn't pull it off, but you pulled it off really well.
Thanks.
Kind of like a royal purple color.
Yeah. Just put it together this morning.
Hey, you look like a king. I said you look like a king.
Oh, no. I don't wear these bibs so much.
I didn't realize the fog was still thick all the way out here. I don't think I've even put on my glasses yet. I kept them off until they cleared up.
For a week and then you're off for like 2 months?
Yes. Can't wait.
I get jealous.
Yeah, you and many people at work. I hear it every year.
It's awesome. Everybody do it.
Yeah. I just don't like to deal with the holidays at work. It's too busy. Yeah.
That was John pulling. He's pulled off. So you see now Roy's in the way. Might as well get in the line. I understand what they
it's a
did.
mess. Wonderful, John.
on your deck?
I am on the operation side. Meaning
You're the one
that
that throws bags all around and stuff?
no, we service the airport, make sure the delays, cancellation, all of those things run smoothly.
Okay.
It goes from there.
So the people side of it or the
Everything.
equipment side of it?
We call the above and below the wing, meaning we handle with the baggage all the way to ticket corner, crew on the flight, all of that.
What's their typical problem?
It could be from pilot late, not showing up on flight, or the flight is delayed from another station, supposed to connect with the other. So those kind of things.
Are you just trying to react to it, or are you trying to...
We communicate with all our stations to make sure that they inform us of what's next.
Okay.
So we don't cancel the flight, or we don't take a big delay. So that's what we call airport operation. Everything from who left what on board, who is flying. Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about. Ross sat there the whole time. Now the road's going up, he's going to sprint up the hill. So he didn't help the group at all. And now he's sprinting up the hill. So a guy like that has a flight, you leave his butt out there. You keep riding because he doesn't help the group. You know, Frank's been pulling the group for miles. If you can sit to the left of Frank the whole time, you should be pulling. And ironically, in a little while, he does have a flat. He's been having flats since he got that bike, according to what we heard. And he's still dealing with it. Something's wrong with it. So we're approaching Old Plantersville Road. So Frank pulled most of the stretch to get us here. And this is where we turn, and then I'm going to get on Larsville and realize, you pulling again? Because I remember seeing her at the front often in the ride. I was like, you up here again?
You're always pulling up here, Doctor. Yeah, and you guys to the top of the front too.
She loves being in the front.
Every time she's up here.
She's riding. The rest of the guys are sliding back, acting cute. I guess it doesn't bother their ego that Laura's doing most of the work. This is a little 4% bump. It's gonna go up, yeah. The pirate always flattens these things. I thought, yeah. I didn't realize it goes that much, yeah. It's a good little bump. I just put it in a gear that's nice and easy to handle. So yeah, the fog was a bit of a bother in the morning, but it burned off once we got further out later in the morning.
Is that 105 back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
This area is called Tri-Lakes subdivision. Very quiet. I think Paul was distracted on his ride. Usually he cleans the lens more frequently than he's been doing. When I'm riding, I'll let people talk to me that much. It throws you off. Just ride. The road's graded here. We shaved it. I think that was unnecessary. That's not much of a curve. In a little bit where he had somebody has a mechanical who just here, they will call out.
Slow down, guys. Flat.
This is where that deer ran with us like 2 years ago. Right?
There was a deer that raced us
Good pull.
a while back. So
We're
Roy
hurt.
has a flat
We're hurt.
again. Roy ended up having several flats, and after a while, I didn't wait anymore. I just left. He had another flat in the forest further on in the ride. So seems like he's having a flat every week, every weekend out. I don't know, probably on every ride. At some point, you have to realize you got an issue, and you deal with it. So Mike and I are just kind of rolling and chatting. So I don't know what you did this weekend, but this is part of what we did on Saturday.
And then I said, this is the first time I said, so the backside was the first thing I said. Because it's true, I never seen
Ride is doing this.
He actually,